fun chatting. Yeah, so you've been working with her for a year, and then what made her decide she wanted to be a partner on the team?
Well, so I met her at the park last year when I was still nannying.
Okay.
So, so we just, struck up a conversation and it led to like health and fitness and she's a teacher. So, I've been planting the seed since, I don't know, Laura, how long we've been planting the seed with Megan?
Oh, forever.
Since what? Like November?
She was killing it in our bod group. She just has done so great, and she bought one. She was the first one on our team to buy a bike, get one of the bikes, and that prompted somebody else to buy one. And
she's meant to be a partner.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah,
she's
awesome. Cool. Congrats on growing and expanding your team. I think it's a great example of also how long it takes sometimes to plant seed. Sometimes we expect, our BAT says start 3 to 5 new conversations. We start the conversations and they don't answer or they're not interested. And we're like, this isn't working. But it's, meeting someone and then letting that seed grow.
And I remember like when I first started talking to her, she's like, well, why do you want to talk to me every week? I'm like, so you stay on track. So, we can, help you fix things before, little things before they come big things. And
yeah, so I love that. Well, congrats to both you and Laura for growing your team this week. I know he's not on here, but I'm gonna give him a shout out. My boy Nick, he started last month. He just sold his 3rd challenge pack. He's doing Lift 4. I've been excited about him. He teaches live fitness classes and whatnot, but like he's doing it in the midst of moving to a different country for a few months. Like he's going to an Airbnb in Mexico for 3 months with his wife. And like he stocked up on all the supplements he needs to take there. And like I've been watching his Instagram stories. I'll share one of his stories in the Dynasty Strong page as I shout him out after this call. But like he was doing his workouts with boxes in the house, and then he was at a friend's house and he's doing a workout at his friend's house, and he's getting on talking about his Shakeology and his supplements that are coming and his excitement. And it's just a good example of what happens when you just stay committed despite what's going on. A move to a different country would be a total excuse for someone to be like, I'll just start when I get back from Mexico, right? But he's taken that action, so I'm stoked about that. So anyhow, let's just get this thing started. This is the last week of the Greatness Mindset. Just a reminder, we're reading The Happiness Advantage as the next book.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but because he's moving to a foreign country, how is he going to get his Shakeology? Or is he just bulking up and buying 3 bags and taking it with him?
He bought Shakeology, Energize, Hydrate, all kinds of stuff to take with him.
Okay.
And then he'll get it when he gets back. Yep.
All right.
Cool. The other thing, the first book club for The Happiness Advantage is going to be the 23rd, May 23rd. That's Gabby's birthday, I just realized. But that leaves next Tuesday without a book club. So I have a guest speaker that will be on our call next Tuesday at the same time. His name is, I can't remember his name right now. I apologize. But he's in the Beachbody Challenge. And I was just chatting with his wife, and we're going to be the first team call that he gets to speak on. She was trying to push it out a little bit further, but I was saying how we had 1 week available. So we get to be his practice because he's pretty nervous to share. His wife is an elite coach and been building business for a while. He got in the Beachbody Challenge. So that call will be next Tuesday. I'll make sure to put an image in the team page so that you guys can hop on and watch that with us. So with that being said, let's chat about the book. That's really all the announcements I have right now, other than keep working hard for those of you that are working on earning the $500 bonus. Totally still doable. There's still almost 2 full months to make that happen. So the one thing I want to share is on page 276. And well, this whole section was really awesome. It's something I've been sharing often with a lot of my coaches, and even on my Getting Started Right calls. I do a Getting Started Right call, and I'm talking about, these are the things that we talk about the clarity of their goals and their why, so that we have something that's going to drive them to do the thing even when it's hard, right? So we talk about the why, the vision, the goals, but then we go over the business activity tracker. And, it's a list of, 12 things to do every single day for your business. That it's been proven time and time again, when a coach has the right mindset, has clear goals, does the activities consistently, they'll see results in their business. They'll recruit customers, they'll recruit coaches, they'll hold them accountable, they'll get them results. And so I talk about that so often, but then I find coaches that, and maybe it's because of who I am and I attract people like this, they have this all-in mindset where if they can't do it all, they don't do anything. They want to be be a perfectionist. And maybe they make a commitment and Monday comes and they don't do the business activity tracker, all of the 12 things. And they're like, dang it, like I sucked again. Like I didn't do the business activity tracker, and then they feel bad, and then they don't do it the whole week. And then they're like, get on a team call. I see Lacey's over there. I'm just saying that because you're like, oh, that's probably me. They get on a team call or national wake up call, and they're like, okay, I'm going to do it for real this time. Maybe they do one day, they nail it. Then the next day something comes up and they miss something. And they're like, what do? I failed again. I didn't follow through with my word. I'm not cut up. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. And it's just a repeating cycle. So I have this conversation with my brand new coaches from the beginning that life's going to happen. You might get sick where you can't do anything for a few weeks. You could have something happen with your mother or your father or your kid in school or any sort of thing. It's going to happen. So I share with them, it's important to make a commitment to do the business activity tracker every single day, but that you also have some very few, and I usually share with them maybe 3 to 4 of the very most important things that on those days that are overwhelming, you do just those things. And you can feel just grateful and glad that you took some steps forward. That no matter how busy it was, you did take some steps forward, and you can celebrate that. And I always tell them, here's what they are for me. And this happened recently. Before some of you hopped on, my kids in travel baseball, we have 8 games this week out of town. I went to one last night. Took 5.5 hours from when we left until we got back for one baseball game. And we got games today and this weekend, and we're trying to close a loan. And there was a committee that had to happen at the bank today, and I had to get stuff together. I had to get to the bank. I had to help coach the team. Monday's my follow-up list day. It was like overwhelming. But what I did was my very few most important things. And then what happened is I found time in the cracks between some of the innings when my kid sat the bench while they were warming up, while they were chatting afterwards, that I could do some extra stuff. But those things, and I share this with my new coaches on a Getting Started Right call, do your workout, drink your shake, do your personal development, listen to some personal development, and maybe share something you learned on your social media, or share that you're going through some challenging things. And these are the small things you're doing to take steps forward. Like just be genuine, authentic, share what you're doing. And then start 5 new conversations. That's it. Like when I'm super overwhelmed or I got so many things going on, if I just get those things done, even though I have this commitment to hitting Success Club 10 every month, doing the business activity tracker every day, if I just do my workout, drink my shake, do my personal development, share something about my life that day, and start 5 new conversations, I could be like, I took some positive, great steps forward. Tomorrow, I'll do my best to do the business activity tracker when things settle down, right? So I want to give you that reminder that you'll never be perfect. And then that's what it was talking about in here that I wanted to share with you guys. It says in the part where it says, do what you can do, that, you know how he has little pictures on the side sometimes, or the quotes are a little bigger. It just says, done is better than perfect. And so I look at some of the things like that, those are the most important things, is taking care of yourself, growing your mind, doing your workouts, and making new connections, like having those conversations with people. So I really love that. And then this is the other big thing I wanted to share. Two things on the next pages, 276 and 277. It says, I'll share both of the quotes. To get the right things done, you must recognize the difference between those things that are under your control and those things that are not under your control. And so I love that. So I wanted to share that. But the more important one I wanted to share that along with the lines I've been sharing is it says, sometimes when things feel overwhelming, it helps to simply do the next right thing. And so I was like, oh, that's so convenient, like in this super busy time that I've been going through and I love being busy because I seem to be more effective and get more things done, is just remembering, and that's my advice to you guys and that I'm taking for myself as well, is when life's overwhelming or there's so much going on, just take the next right step forward. And being here for 12 years, I could tell you the next right step forward isn't feeling bad for yourself or guilty that you didn't do everything or that you didn't do it perfect. That's never going to be the right step. Just take some step forward. It could be texting one of your customers. It could be starting some new conversations with new people. It could be meeting a new person at the baseball game you're at with your kid. It could be talking to your coworker and just listening to them. It could be doing your workout. It could be reading your personal development, right? Just doing those small things. So yeah, one of the other things on my list right now is I love speaking at Beachbody events and on team calls, but I'm speaking about mothers at church on Sunday. And I am not a fan of speaking at church. I don't know why. It's not my comfort zone. And so I got that on there too. So I had to block out time to write my Mother's Day talk too, so I didn't procrastinate it. So anyhow, what do you guys take away from this last chapter? What do you guys like? I want to hear some of your thoughts.
Well, having not read it, but just what you just said, I have found I had to take some things off my plate because I was overwhelmed. And I realized one of the things I realized that this call is so important because I feed my soul on these calls. And so I'm back. But when you do feel that overwhelm, just, and you've got 5 minutes, take that 5 minutes and send out a message to somebody or send out an invitation. So that's one thing.
I love that. And we're glad we're here. We missed you for a few weeks.
I know. I miss it too. I haven't read any. I've only read up to page 55 in this book, so I've got a ways to catch up. I'll get it done.
One of those things, kind of like we talked about, it doesn't matter that it's not done. What matters is that you've taken steps forward. I've seen you get back to your diamond. Seen you have one of your downline coaches, Jamie, on here, recruit a coach to the team. So you're taking the right steps. So we're proud of you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Anybody else? Yeah, we missed you. Who else wants to share?
I'll share.
Jeremy.
So a lot of what you just talked about really resonated with me. Like, if you can't do it all, like, it seems to become overwhelming. And then sometimes I know that me personally, like, I look at everything, and if I can't do it all, then I start shutting down. And I know that's not the right thing to do. I know the right thing to do is take messy action over. So doing one thing, if I can't do it all, I'll at least pick one thing that I can do and try to knock that out. One of the other things that resonated with me was about defining your 1%. And so we call it just moving the needle. It's like, what's that one thing you can do to move the needle forward, in any category. And then it talks about you can, talks about the questions you can ask yourself from what to eliminate from your schedule and what to eliminate from what you're doing based on importance. And I really love being able to ask all those questions to say, is this really what I need to be doing? Or, you know, is this the best and highest use of my time? What do I need to do that only I can do? And this doesn't even just resonate with coaching, it's just in our life in general. You know, my wife handles a lot of the schedule for the kids and things like that. And that's what she does. And so there's things that we divvy up that only we really handle. And sometimes it's best to ask myself things like that. But the questions that they gave in here are great for kind of figuring out what the best use of my time is.
Yeah. I've loved the questions in here. This has been probably one of the most thorough books of not just reading through and being like, oh, that was great, but writing out, like having all the activities to write out. Here, let me mute. There you go. Okay. Yeah. Who else wants to share? Thank you for sharing that, Jeremy. See, I'm trying to see who we all have on here. We got Raven, Michelle, Sam, Ashley, Jamie. Anybody else have anything you want to share? I don't even care if it's from the book or some experience you had with the week too. We're all here to chat about whatever you guys want. I'm all over here marked up, ready to share everything, but I gotta give you guys opportunities.
Can you hear me?
Yes. What's up, Sam?
Okay. Hey, now I got my computer up and running. Sorry,
Perfect.
you guys you were all incognito before. I got a bit lost in where I was on the book because I started doing the Audible as well as the book. But yeah, like you said, like going back and doing all these, if you just kind of blow through it and read, this is a really good book to go back and go through all of the exercises. Like, because sometimes I find like something unlocks a bit when you go further ahead, and then you can go back and kind of get the point of doing the other exercises before that. So that's been good. My biggest takeaway at the end of all this is it's literally at the end of the book where he talks about celebrating your successes, because it can be really easy to get hyper focused on kind of what you were intending to do as your milestones, and then you forget to kind of stop for a second and appreciate what's happening, that you should have taken a couple of minutes to just be okay with that and move on. Like, I think I commented in one of your posts, like you'd said, we're all trying to get to the 10 packages, right? Like for the bonus, because that's an extra awesome kickstart, especially for anybody who's starting out in the business again. You don't have that momentum of all your old customers and stuff. So, but I hit emeralds by just with I only have 2 people and I'm emerald. And it's like, back in the old days, that would have been a huge deal. And I just like blew through it. And I was ticked off because I put the person in the wrong side of the down line, and I just middle of the night messaged Coach Relations, said, can you move him? And it was just so categorical and didn't take even any time to think. Like, now I'm signing people up, but it's pretty much everybody's just preferred customers or coaches.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just, not taking 2 seconds to think about that. And I think we kind of blast on to the next endpoint instead of maybe stop. For me anyway, I kind of blast to the next thing instead of stopping and recalibrating a little bit. Like, I have physical issues and stuff. So again, I got my ass handed to me doing all the driving and things. So I couldn't work out. And then I got pissed off because most of my people, like, they're watching me work out. Like, you guys, honestly, that's when my inbox fills up, is when I'm doing the workouts, because it's just rinse and repeat. And it's like, if you do it every day, they do it. They're like, this is possible. And they keep going. So as soon as I stop for a few days, I feel like I lose all that momentum. But I just put up a crappy clip from 2 minutes being pissed off, finally lifting weights again last night. And I had 4 or 5 people calling, like messaging in again right away. So again, it's like taking a second to just appreciate them. Like you guys were talking about, like the messy part, like it's okay to do it not perfect. Don't
Yeah.
let that derail you. We all know that with our people that we're helping. You don't let them off the hook when they have a bender on a bag of candy at night. Like, they still have to keep trying. It's not like an insane, but it's like we forget to have that same concept with ourselves. We're really good at helping other people through that stuff, but we kind of forget to take care of ourselves at the same time. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's me chatting away.
Thank you, Sam. Laura, what's up?
Oh, I have a question for Sam. Are you doing your workouts live or are you recording them and then just posting a couple of snippets?
I'm recording them and posting a couple of snippets. And I just screwed up yesterday. Usually I do a few blocks of different pieces because I know there are people watching me that will copy some of the exercises. Like, they're looking at it to see what they can piecemeal. And then for me, it's a bit of a patience thing because in 6 months, they'll realize they're still not getting anywhere. And I know my own meat suit, as mangled as it is, it will change if I follow a program and do it all. It does show really clearly on a couple of pictures. So I usually try and post 2 or 3 different moves and the process, right? But I just glitched and hit save and completely deleted 40 minutes of recording because I used to have my teenagers would take recordings for me so I could just do live stories, which was awesome because I had a kid who could just hit a camera and we'd chat and it was very normal. But now I set up my phone and record all of it and just take chunks and mess around with the graphics a bit. But yeah, I completely screwed up and deleted all of it, which honestly, I was having just a pissy moment, the whole thing. So I think it was a good accident. Like, I look like death. I was feeling like death for the last 2 weeks. So yeah, but again, my people know that's normal and I just need to keep going.
And that's just real life,
Yeah.
right? You know,
Yeah.
and that's
The
what people
dog's
want
sitting
to
on
see.
me. Yeah, normal.
They don't want to see all this perfection and they want to see that we're just human beings also
Yeah.
with human doings.
Yeah, and the dog sometimes sits on you, or you're cracked out, or somebody's hollering at you because they can't find where the whatever the laundry soap is. As I mute myself again in case the dog starts barking.
My internet is unstable. Sorry, my internet's unstable. Give me a second. I'm going to go to the hotspot. I think I'm back. I missed the end of yours, Sam. I'm sorry. The very end, I think. Can you guys hear me now? Okay. Cool. Anybody, who else wants to share something?
I can share if
Hey, what's
no
up,
one
man?
else- So I'm behind, but I'm almost caught up. So for me, it's page 219 in the very beginning of chapter 13 about giving yourself permission. And I just to give you some context, I'm doing the T25 body block, and Shanti was the first program I ever did. When I was like mad and like upset that I had not been able to lose the weight after my second baby. And so like coming around like full circle, literally 10 years later, I'm doing programs with him still. I love Shanti. And I'd done the T25 and my baby was still sleeping. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do the B25 block. And so I was listening to this on Audible while I read this part. About giving yourself permission. The title is A Permission of Your Own Making. It says, jealousy is a form of witnessing undeveloped parts of ourselves. You might look at someone else and resent the qualities they reflect, but nothing is preventing you from developing those same qualities. You just have to give yourself the affirmation and permit yourself to become your desired self. And I love that because I think sometimes in our minds, we just have to like give ourselves permission to have a rank advancement or give ourselves permission to more boldly invite people to what we know is like so great in our life, right? And I mean, that whole chapter, I think if I had not read any other part of the book, this chapter for me is, I don't know, just speaking to me. Like my phase in life today, today my fifth baby turns 1. So I'm like, okay, it's fresh start. Like, what do I want to accomplish now that I'm out of the really, in my opinion, hard phase of the first year? And just giving myself the permission, like he says, to become my ideal, and control what I can control and just totally let go of what I can't. So love that chapter.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And happy birthday to the little guy.
Thank you.
Cool. I've loved this book a lot. One thing I had to look at too, or one thing I love on this, it's the last chapter, I think, on celebration activities and future commitments. He has you create a brag list, and we kind of chatted about this in here. I think Sam was kind of mentioning it about like she freaking got to Emerald, sold some challenge packs, but not like really celebrating all that she's done, thinking about what I haven't done. Like this was the goal, this, I didn't get this. And I think just that reminder of remembering that to celebrate all of your successes, whether it's, raising your kids and getting them out as some decent humans, that's a huge success. Because he goes on and says to write down, brag about yourself. Don't take any success for granted. Your early school years, junior high and high school, your post-high school, college, trade school, early career, first job, mid-20s, late 20s to present day, like write out all of the, just remember all of the accomplishments and things that you've done and celebrate yourself for coming as far as you have in all of your activities and your commitments and your jobs and everything you've done. I really love that section because I tend to do that because I like to be like the visionary of what's next. What are we going to do next? How are we going to do this next? And I had a moment the other day just gathering everything. I'm always trying to just talk about our current life, what we're going through, and we're working on this loan. And I was checking the new statements for like closing, money for closing and all that stuff. And there was a $5,000 something bonus for 5-star. And like, I just don't even focus or think about those things. And I was like, I had to just take some moment and be like, okay, you're not where you used to be. You're not at where you want to be, but like, that's still awesome. Like you did that. And because I want to be fifth, I want to have a 15-star diamond team. Right. But in being so focused on that, like I forget about, but you have done this and you are doing this currently. So we got to give ourselves some credit, whether you're a diamond and you want to get to 2-star and you're not yet, be like, I'm leading a freaking diamond team. I'm looking at you, Laura. I'm leading a diamond team. Like I have coaches on my team, Jamie, who are recruiting and building their teams. Like I'm doing awesome. Like celebrate your successes and remember that. Like sometimes I beat myself up so much. I just got off a Getting Started Right call right before this with Mario. He was on our call last week. If you remember, he recently gone through a divorce and we were chatting and he's like, how do you do it, bro? Like I see you and some other people with like hundreds of months of Success Club. And we were having this conversation, but him just mentioning that, like we looked at it and it was 145 months. And I was like, how many times have I like stopped and been like, dude, you hit 145 months of Success Club 10. Like you should celebrate. Like I don't celebrate that. I just do it and then think about what I haven't done yet, how we're not back to 10-star yet, how we didn't hit elite last year, and how it's still possible this year, but we're not on track. Like our minds tend to work like what we haven't done or what we're not capable of right now versus what we have done. So I needed that chapter. Don't take any success for granted. Laura.
I'm the question girl.
I love your
What do we-
questions.
What do we have to do to get to 10-star and elite? Not us personally, but as a cohesive team. What do we need to do?
That's a great question. So it would involve, so exactly we would need 4 diamonds in our first business center. And now you might be looking at this and being like, am I in your first business center? Or am I in your second? I'm not one of your personally sponsored. So I don't like, all of those things could come up in your head, right? Like, Jamie, you're not personally sponsored. You could be like, how do I help when I'm not a part of that? Or Ashley, you're not a personally sponsored coach. The thing that I've noticed in this business is when like ships rise with other ships on the tide. I don't know the exact saying, but what we need is the more people that start to take bold action, level up, hit Success Club 10 every month, advance to Diamond, working their way towards 1-star. The more people that do that, the more other coaches on this team are going to rise up with them. Does that make sense? So logistically, I need 4 PS coaches in my first business center. 3 of which would be on one leg, 1 on the other leg. So it's very specific numbers like that. And I'll be honest, no one on here is one of those people. So in order for that to happen, we need the people that are showing up to level up, show what we're capable of and what's possible. And as that happens, other people in the team will rise up and do that. And I'm consistently recruiting into that business as well. Like my new coach, Nick, signed 3 coaches, in the past month, in his first month. So we're making those moves. And one of my first mentors, I remember, Alethea Cox was her name. I was specifically at Diamond. This is advice for anyone where you're at in your business. And I was kind of frustrated because I hit Diamond in 93 days, hitting Success Club 10, and we hit our year mark. And no one was hitting Diamond yet. And we were working with our Emeralds and people that were working for it. And I'm like, no one's there, right? No one's working as hard as me. And I was like, just expressing my frustrations to her. And this is me thinking back 12 years. I'm like, no one works as hard as I do and takes care of 3 babies by themselves at night. And like, nobody has, like, their excuses aren't valid. Like, no one's working as hard as I am. Why aren't people doing what I'm doing? Like, I don't get why my coaches are not leveling up or whatever. I was having that conversation with her and she's like, oh, there's the problem right there. She's like, you're talking down on your coaches instead of empowering them. Like, even though you're not saying that to your coaches, they're feeling it from you. They're feeling that you're frustrated with them. So you need to help them recognize all of the small wins that they're making and build up their confidence, 1 step at a time. And, and she's like, just like you're like, I'm going to be an elite coach. I'm going to hit Success Club 10. I'm going to bring my wife home from work. I'm going to earn 10,000 my first year. All these affirmations, all those affirmations you are making and you believe in them and they're happening. But here's what's happening when you're working. You're sitting at your desk and you're like, why are they not on the team call? Why do we only have 1 person hitting Success Club when I know that 20 of them could be hitting Success Club? Why are they making all the excuses? Why can't they commit to doing this at the level I am? She's like, so your affirmations are all working for you personally, but they're not working for your team. You need to sit there and be like, I have an incredible team. I attract strong, hardworking, self-starting people who have goals, dreams, visions, and will do whatever it takes to make it happen. I have great people who can help us achieve this goal. And I was like, oh, I see where I'm going wrong here. So those affirmations, just making that shift, she helped me understand that. And then on the second part, she's like, and what happens as you start to work with that mindset and that attitude? When one diamond, this is the way she told it to me, is she's like, it's going to be like popcorn. Like, one's going to pop. And then all of a sudden, shortly after, you'll hear another one pop, like pop to diamond is how she was explaining it. And then another will pop, and then it will start going faster and faster as that momentum starts to happen. And other people are just seeing, like, Sam's at diamond, and now Lacey's at diamond, and now Ashley's at diamond, and now Jamie's at diamond, Raven's at diamond. And as that happens, people around Jeremy, I don't want to leave you out, Jeremy's at diamond. As that happens, the people around on the team are going to be like, holy crap, I'm missing out. Like, these people are all doing this. I can do this. And it's like the compensation plan doesn't change. The business activity tracker doesn't change. It's just the belief in the individual coaches changes as they see other people doing it. Does that make sense? So, Laura, long answer to your very short question. Logistically, I need 4 personally sponsored in my first, but what in reality needs to happen is we all have to really just level up and go after our goals and dreams and advance. Okay. contagious like a pregnancy. Watch out, you're gonna have 5 kids like Ashley and I. I'm just messing. Some of you guys are beyond those years. Okay. Anybody else want to share anything?
Okay, I will accept, just to piggyback on what you were saying.
Yeah.
I'm still having trouble with people who are just, I was in a network of people where everybody's kind of struggling financially, which is great if you want to use a business, like we get that part, but I was having trouble with even just getting people to go on the challenge packs again. And it's just, it was just pissed me off. But anyway, I put it out there that I just needed to reach the people who had the financial means and the priority, because we know a lot of it's priority, right? Like I said flat out to somebody that it costs the same as an arm sleeve, dude. You just got your arm sleeve done. So, right? Like some of us can call it out, but yeah, first, my message right away was from an old friend who's an entrepreneur mom, and she's put 40 pounds on, and she's just been watching for years. And yeah, it was like just putting that intent out there to kind of like aim the energy better. It's a little woo, but I think it works. Like it does work. It doesn't hurt to do it anyway. It doesn't hurt to help to put the intent out there. So
Yeah.
right away, it was like bang. Okay, good. Emily's in. This is good, right? Like
Yeah.
it helps.
Intentions are going to be powerful in that aspect. The same thing, like if you, let's say you set a goal to earn the $500 bonus with the 10 total solution packs. If in your mind, you're already saying like, I've never done Success Club 5 or 10 in 1 month. How am I going to do that in 2 months? Right? If your mind is already that, I can tell you right now, it won't happen. And I've seen it so many times, like this business, like with having the right intention, the law of attraction, call it God or the universe, like having that full belief and then taking the massive action, not just woo-woo, believe it's going to happen, like believe it's going to happen, then have that intention behind it. There's been numerous times over my 12 years of experience where I've done all of the things. And then it's like, it's like January 30th and I'm at Success Club 0 and I've done the thing. And it literally has to be me getting down to the fact of like, okay, you are capable of doing this. You've done it before. You've hit Success Club 40 in different months. Like you've been consistently inviting people. You will reach the right people or say the right thing or follow up with the right people and make this happen in the next 2 days. And then magically, all of my focus and intention, I'm not distracted on other things and I'm reaching out to people. Ideas come to my mind of like, oh, what about this person that I talked to before that, was going through paying off whatever, right? And I reach out to the right people and it happens. Because my new coach, Mario, was like, how do you guys do it? Do you guys like have like a whole bucket full of friends we don't know about that will just buy a package if you need it so that you can hit it on the hard months? And I'm like, no, I don't have a bucket full of friends that I have buy to hit Success Club. This is something that happens because I'm consistently believing that I can find those people or reach those people, whether it's by individually reaching out to them, meeting someone in person, having someone like reach out to my post, like on one of my posts, and so forth. So, okay. Laura asked, do we know how many people of the 2,000 have qualified? I don't have a number. I haven't seen one, but there's still room. I'll just say that. And the plenty of room. I saw a list once, but it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and there was still a lot of room. Like it wasn't even to half, just so you know. Okay. All right. Anybody else want to share before we log out for the day? So you guys can go get your invites out. And if not, it's totally cool. Okay, we'll end it right here. Just a reminder, next week we have a guest that's in the Beachbody Challenge coming to share his story. His wife is an elite coach, and he's jumped on board with the workouts, lost over 100 pounds, feeling awesome, ready to build the business. And he's a little nervous to come share. So it would be awesome if we can have people come be a practice audience for him. I think we're probably the best team to be a practice audience, just because we're such I think just a loving, supportive of everybody type of team. So that'll be next Tuesday at the same time. And then remember to start or order your book if you don't have it, The Happiness Advantage, if you want to do that with us. It's an awesome book. When I put that post on the team page, I put his TED Talk. Go listen to the TED. Like, I love his sense of humor. Like, he's just, the book's absolutely incredible, but go listen to his TED Talk. He talks about positive psychology is the whole point of the book, but he talks about how he kept his sister from crying one day when she fell off the bunk bed and the parents were taking a nap and were like, we don't want to hear any noise. And she's about to scream. And he's like, he tells a story so awesome, but he's like, did you see that? And she's like, trying not to cry. And she's like, you're a unicorn. He's like, no, nobody falls off of something like that and doesn't. Anyway, the way he tells stories is he's just incredible at teaching positive psychology. And a lot of what the whole end of this call was about will be about your mindset and your psychology to help you create success and happiness in your life. So that's the long-term goal. And so I'm excited to do that with you guys. Let's keep working. When you guys have questions, I don't have all the answers, but we're a team and we can figure it all out together. And we all struggle. Like I'm somebody that once had this team at 14-star diamond, once had this team in the top 10. And, I'm at 6-star diamond as a team with my business right now, and just working to build and help people get results in both their workouts and their fitness. And did I see a hand before I close it out, Jamie?
Do we as a company, do we have any intention of going to like Australia, New Zealand?
Yeah, I have heard intentions of both Spanish speaking countries. And I know of a lot of people asking about Australia too. My new guy, Nick, is from Australia, who's super excited about it. But we don't have dates on that stuff.
Okay, because I have a couple people asking me, when you guys come in here, I want to coach. I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm like, I'll find out.
Yeah, my biggest piece of advice is build your leadership and your team as strong as you can now, so that you are looked at as leadership when we go into those countries and they're looking for leaders who are established and who have the confidence and vision. That's one of the main reasons why I take, I'm volunteering to speak compensation plan. I want to be known in the Spanish community as the guy that knows how to build this business. And it's like, I want to serve the Spanish community, but I'm also thinking long-term, like one day we'll open in Mexico or we'll open in Bolivia, where Gabby's family's from. And I want to be established and whatnot. So take their contact info. I would even help them, give them advice on their nutrition and their eating, and getting them reading personal development books, and bring them into your challenge group, even though they can only ride their bike or run or jog or whatever. And
Okay.
we did that also with the UK. We had people that were in our groups before we ever could offer them products.
Could they get like a free account?
They can't do the free account until they're announcing the opening, and then they'll offer that up. But one thing you could do is there's a whole list of sample workouts. So you could create a list of sample workout Vimeos. There's probably 15 on Vimeo, and they can be doing sample workouts and know what the programs are like and stuff like that. But my biggest piece of advice is don't spend all of your time doing that, because you can't reap any more. But you can give that option and support them in that meantime.
Okay. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. And we'll see you guys on next Tuesday's call and inside of the team page. All right, we'll see you guys later.